Hello everyone, I hope you're doing really well and welcome back to my channel. So I haven't uploaded in a while, I think about 2 weeks. Things have just been quite crazy with work and all of that. But today I thought that I would get back into it and show you another journal that I had made quite a while ago and it hasn't been used, so it's an empty junk journal flip through. And this one I made as a prototype, something that I could show people to, so give them some idea of the books that I make. So this is one style that I make. I mean, obviously, I'm still playing around and experimenting, and I love trying all different kinds of things for the books I make. But with this one, I sat down and I took a really long time to add details and little decorations, lots of little things, because I wanted it to be very special. And when you looked at it, you needed to go like, wow, that is beautiful, that is different, that is very unique. So I achieved that, in my opinion, and I absolutely love this little book. It is smaller than the other books that I have shown you. So let me just measure it, actually. So my ruler is full of paint and gesso, so just excuse that. So it is 165 millimeters, about 165 wide, and it is 190 tall. So it's 19 centimeters by 16.5 centimeters. Sorry, I don't have something that measures in inches. And then the spine is 6.5 for the spine. So it's more compact. So if you look at this one, my purple journal, the height isn't that different, but it is a little different, so this one is smaller in comparison. So this one is closer to the size of an A4 folded in half. That is how this one was kind of put together to be able to take pages A4 that have just been folded in half without having to cut them. So that's this size. But yeah, so let me explain about the little journal. So the cover is actually really interesting. So this is, you can see that it's fabric, but it is made for covering books. So it is lined with paper so that your glue doesn't seep through the fabric. So I have an example here. So it's this brand, Bibon, and it has a little book thing. So in the art store that I love here, that I spoke about before, they have a little corner where they have everything you need for bookbinding. And so that includes this fabric that they have. And when I saw it, I was just, I need to buy those. That's going to be perfect. So this one I've already used, I cut it up. But so you can see that the outside looks like fabric, like old wallpaper pattern. I love this. And then on the back, there is paper. So you put your glue on this and it doesn't seep through the fabric, but you get a fabric look. And it's quite thin and it is very flexible. It shouldn't tear or anything like that. It is pretty sturdy. And it is very affordable also. I think, let's see, the price of this. So this one was 2,800 won, which is like $2 for this. And it is definitely it is bigger than this book. You know, you can, like I said, I've already cut mine up. I used this as the inner lining for a book I made for my grandma. So that is another thing you can do with it. You can use it for your end pages instead of the cover. So there's a lot you can do with those. I love them. And this one kind of looks black, but when you turn it, it's navy, like royal blue with like a goldy pattern on it. And so the book board I also got there, they're already sized. I just made the spine. So the book board you can also buy there in different sizes, and it's really good book board. It's very sturdy, like very hardback, but still lightweight. But yeah, okay, so that is the cover. I decided for this one to do the binding so that you can see it. I just thought that that was, you know, pretty with, because the color of the thread matched the little lace I put on the front. And I just thought that because the cover is kind of plain, you know, it looked nice with having the stitching showing. So yeah, so that's that one. And it has little silver book corners, which I also found at that art store. And then this piece of lace I cut from an old shirt of mine that I don't wear anymore. And the little book plate I just added with some brads, which was also at the little art store. Okay, so let's go inside. So I lined it with some scrapbook paper. And this is a library card pocket that I got off Nick the Booksmith's Etsy store. I will link that. And it has the Orme School Library, and this one is the Raven, Poe, Edgar Allan, and I just printed it on some like more heavy duty cardstock. Well, not heavy duty, heavier duty paper, which would be lightweight cardstock. And it looks very authentic, and I just inked the edges of that. So you can of course write on this or put something else in there. Some scrapbook paper, and I stuck some line paper on there. And I did a lot of stenciling, washi tape, like little details. And then of course tea coffee dyed paper. And this is a fabric or a lace pocket that I hand stitched, and it's a pretty big pocket. And then I just put something like a little index card in it to show that it was a pocket. I love this. I actually want to do this in my own journal. And the thing that's nice about the hand stitching is that it's more difficult and, you know, kind of a pain in the ass, but you can hand stitch things on after your book is bound. So that's what I like about hand stitching. So I did that with this book mostly. I bound in the pages, and then I flipped through and added things where I wanted to kind of evenly space them out and, you know, kind of monitor myself about where I put certain things just so it was more balanced. And that just made more sense to me in my mind. And some dictionary paper. More stenciling. Stencils I also got at the art store that I just spoke about. Washi. So that's the first signature. And then here we have a little cluster. I tea-dyed some like muslin type fabric that I use to cover my journals, and some scrapbook paper and a little button. Scrapbook paper stencil. This is the lace, sticky back lace. That's like a tape that I told you I loved. So that is why this is great. You can just stick it on, and it sticks. It's amazing, and it just gives you this very nice detailing, and it's so fast. And little pocket and journaling card. Again, I hand stitched that. I glued it, but I just like the look of the stitching. And then I stapled some lace onto it, some stickers. More washi. Next signature stamp. This is not the sticky back lace. I used glue for this, And I kind of gathered the fabric by hand and stuck that on and put a little button. I love this little cluster. But the glue I used kind of seeped through. I used PVA, I think, because I don't have anything that's acetone or alcohol, well, I guess acetone based, like Fabri-Tac, because that kind of, you know, it doesn't warp your paper that much because it's not water based. But I don't have anything like that, and of course a glue stick wasn't gonna hold the fabric, so I just, you know, I used the PVA, but then it's soaked through, and so I added a fabric sticker over it on the back. So this is another thing, I think I talked about it. It's a fabric sticker. So this is different from the other one. So the other one has a paper lining and you have to add glue to get it to stick. But then you also get the ones that are sticky backed. So it's like a sticker. So this one looks like denim. You can see that. And then on the back, it has the sticker and you peel it off and it sticks. So this is a big sheet, which is great. It's quite, you can see that it's a very big sheet, but mostly if you find these pretty patterned ones, they are a little smaller than A4. Like, they might be letter size, like American sized copy paper, the letter size, 8.5 by 11, I think, or they are close to A4 size, so they're smaller. But they work. You can cut them up to make tape. You can use them for covering books. They're wonderful, and they're also very cheap here. Some scrapbook paper. Another. This is the sticker for the lace, and then I just put a little garment pin and a little bead. Stenciling. So this is not sticker lace. This is just normal lace, and I hand sewed around the edges, and it's a little tuck spot there. Scrapbook and stamping, line pages with some washi. And this I made a pocket, so it was, I think this was the middle of the signature actually. But so I just folded it together and I glued it and hand sewed edges, so made a pocket, and I put a piece of scrapbook. So this is the scrapbook paper I used to line the book, and this was left over, so I decided to tuck that in here. My mom brought me that scrapbook paper as a gift when she came to visit me. I do have the paper pack here somewhere, so I will link that, but I don't think that it would be easily accessible, unfortunately. She got it in a little art store in South Africa. Okay, so here's just some fabric that I glued on, normal fabric, not sticky fabric. And a piece of paper that I folded into an envelope and put paper clipped on there. Johanna vintage linen printable that I glued on here. This is also the fabric sticker that I had a piece left of, and a little label. Beautiful envelope that I tea-dyed and also just put on with a paper clip. I like doing that because then you can remove it or decide to do with it whatever you want. I don't want to permanently attach everything because, you know, there needs to be some freedom for the person who will use it. So this one is printed on sticker paper. Which I also learned from her. She was talking about her linens and that she prints them on sticker paper. So that's what I do most of the time. But I do also print them on copy paper. It doesn't really matter. But this makes it very convenient. So I just stuck this in the pocket here so the person can stick it wherever. And this is, I think that this was tracing paper that I coffee dyed. Or it might have been the parchment paper that you bake with. No, by the feel of it, no. I think this was just tracing paper that I dyed and hand sewed again. Stenciling. A piece of the cover. When I cut the corners to glue it over, this was left, and so I just stuck it on the little corner there. Some craft paper. Very nice, like, quality, thickness craft paper. I love putting those in books. Then it's another piece of this shirt that's similar to the one that is on the cover. Put that there. More fabric sticker, paper doily, index card, more dictionary. This was part of a sticker of a scrapbook paperback that I had, and it was just perfect for like the edge here. Washi. Lace tape. So this is an envelope that I cut shorter, and I made a little indent, and so I made a pocket behind, and it's a pocket inside, of course, and then I slipped another linen in there. Scrapbook. This also was something that I had left over, and I glued it on. All of this paper, like the scrapbook paper in here, is from the Theodosia Square paperback. I will link it down below. I got mine on Amazon. And there, craft paper right in the middle. This is actually some origami paper that I found, and it was, again, it's difficult to find pattern paper in Korea. So when I found this, even though it was origami paper, I was like, yes, please. Had little roses on it, and so here I just stuck some down. I really love this paperback from Theodosia Square. So it's not cardstock, and it's one-sided. You know, it only has a pattern on one side. And it's paper, but it's very soft and smooth, and it's almost like the Kodak matte photo paper. It's very smooth and beautiful. I'm pretty sure that you can print, you know, on the back of it. I actually want to try that. You know, but it's really nice quality paper. So it's not cardstock, but beautiful, and it has the most beautiful patterns. I think that I will actually repurchase this pack if I go through it. Stamps. Another envelope. I just put a little secret stamp down there. And a finger stamp. These were all my mom's old stamps when she was working at the kind of like a secret service when there still was one, but she was office manager, assistant, personal assistant, but she worked with a lot of sensitive information, and she had a lot of stamps left over, and I found them at her house, and it was like that little hand and things that said secret or confidential, you know, things like that, and it was just really cool. So here is a little tag, some lace, and a piece of the scrapbook paper, and I just made a corner pocket, put that in there. And a little pocket that I learned how to make on Gail Acostanelli's channel. So I think on her channel she actually attaches this part so that this is a closed pocket, which you can do, but I didn't do that. I liked it having like a big, you know, slidey pocket, and then it has the two here. And she also attached, you know, she kind of attached the whole thing so that they're closed pockets, which is also great, but I left them open because I felt like, you know, it gives you more room. And of course, the person who uses the journal can decide to attach them. I want to leave as much choice for the person who uses the journal, you know, as I can, so that they can customize. Little paper journal, and the cutest little paper clips I found at the Daiso. Plain paper, dictionary, and scrapbook, and here we are at the end. So at the end, I attached an envelope, and I put like Velcro little stickers here so that it could close, and I put some printed labels and things. These I also got from Nick the Booksmith, her printable labels. So I printed a bunch of that, and I just put it in the pocket here for the person to use. And then here's also a Nick the Booksmith Ex Libris plate. I printed this on craft paper, and a handmade little... My brain is dead today, guys. It's early in the morning. I'm still drinking my first cup of coffee. But yeah, so it's a handmade wooden, like, label taggy thing. And then it has the 2 holes where you can, you know, attach it. But so what I did is I glued it on, and then I just, before gluing, I put some, like, twine, not twine. Oh gosh, what do you call it? Thread. Thank you, thread. I just put some thread to make it look like it was sewed on, but it's just glued. And a little fabrics, wax seal, and a little button. This was actually a button sticker, so it has a sticky back. It's just for decoration. And I don't know if you'll be able to see, like, the wax seal has a little rose imprint. Ah, there we go. So I found that at the Daiso here as well. The stamp, the wax stamp. The wax itself I found at the other art store that I love. So yeah, there it is. When I was working on it and it was smaller than all the other books I'd made, I was calling it Little Binky. So this is Little Binky, and I absolutely love this journal, and I think I would love to work in it, especially as a writing journal and keeping it very minimalistic, because it already is so beautiful on the inside. But yeah, so that is another journal that I made. I don't know if I'm going to end up using it, or maybe using it as a giveaway or selling it. Selling my work now, I don't think is possible, because I am not a Korean citizen. I'm a foreigner, and the visa I have is sponsored by the job that I have. So I'm not allowed to do any other jobs and get paid for them, and I'm not allowed to have a business. And I'm sure that that includes online. Like, if I want to open an Etsy store to sell things, or even a separate online store to sell things, I don't know that I'm allowed to do that while I am a foreigner in Korea. But if anyone watches this and they have some idea about this, please let me know. But yeah, so unfortunately, selling the books I make right now doesn't seem like an option. But I'm going to continue to make them and kind of build up a stock, I guess. And I am going to be building a website where I put pictures of all the things that I make, and, you know, kind of like a gallery that you can go look at my work. And then eventually, when I move back home next year, I will be able to sell them. And then I hope to have enough people that, you know about me on the internet through my videos and Instagram, that if I do launch a website to sell things, that, you know, there will at least be a few people who will want to buy the books. But yeah, so that was a tangent that was unnecessary, but so that was just, I felt like I wanted to mention it, because I show you empty books, but there's no way for you to buy them if there was someone who was maybe interested. But like I said, if anyone who watches this has an idea of, you know, what I can do, like a legal way, please let me know. Otherwise, I will try to keep looking into it, because I would love to make things to sell. Because for one thing, I don't have room to keep everything I make, but I mean, I want to keep making things. So, and it would be lovely to be able to sell them and, you know, bring some joy to somebody. But yeah, okay, so that is the end. I know this video was kind of all over the place. Like I said, it's been a difficult, busy 2 weeks. And it's early in the morning. I just got up. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed looking at this little book. I absolutely love this little book. It's just so satisfying to me. And I would love to use it, but I don't know. Maybe I will keep it as a giveaway book, so that if I reach a certain amount of subscribers or something like that, I will send it off in a giveaway. I think that might be a good idea. But yeah, so thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you hopefully soon in my next video. Bye, guys.